What happens when an 18-year-old kid who just months ago was sitting in math class all day suddenly makes his way into the NBA? You'd expect a complete failure, right? Well, not if that teenager is LeBron James. While most remember him for his 4 championships, breaking the NBA all-time scoring record and making his case as the greatest player of all time, many forget about his insane rookie season when a young LeBron was destroying grown men nearly twice his age. So, what made James so dominant at such a young age? And why did his own team want to see him fail? Well, to find that out, we have to go back to June 26, 2003.
With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James.
LeBron Ramon James, who had just been selected by his home state NBA team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, at just 18 years old, was ready to shock the world.
I'm not going to guarantee no championship, I'll tell you that. I'm just going to I'm guarantee that we get better every day. And that's the thing that you guys don't see. That comes from practice. Sometimes you have practice, but sometimes you're not. I just know that we're going to get better every day, and we're going to be a lot better team than last year. I can guarantee that.
October 29th, 2003.
Finally, we not only turn off the hype machine, but we throw it out the window. Time to see what all the fuss is about.
It's the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Sacramento Kings, here in the capital city of California. And there is the man of the hour in probably the most anticipated debut of any first-year athlete in any sport. LeBron James will put it on the floor for the first time in a regular season game tonight.
Within just minutes of stepping out onto the court for his first ever NBA game, at just 18 years old, LeBron got to work.
And here comes LeBron James on the run. This is his best part of his game. And there's his first assist, and it's a beauty.
And what happened shortly after was set to be the first domino of an incredible career.
The numbers. LeBron James' first shot is good. James around a pick. Double team. And LeBron on the baseline. 2 for 2. Well, that's a great start, guys. To win games and survive until he gets back. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to be. Oh, way off balance over a 7-footer, and he knocked it down. James is 3 for 3.
While there were some rookie jitters, the Accra natives' first quarter far exceeded everyone's expectations.
Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam of his career. Whoa.
He's not disappointing me, I'm telling you right now.
He's got 10.
And as the game progressed, James, despite being a teenager, showed an insane level of leadership.
He said his thought process was, I had already had 4 shots. Zydrunas had had 2 shots. I knew Ricky had not had a shot, so I figured the best way to get Ricky started off was to get him a dunk. And Brad, he thought about this as an 18-year-older. Phenomenal.
Plus, some great charisma.
I asked him what was the weakest part of his game. He said, when I'm on the bench, not playing. We all cracked up.
Yeah, that was a great line.
However, as the game continued on, a key issue began to arise.
See, I don't like that. The last 2 times down, LeBron James hasn't touched the ball. They had the 2 other guys taking shots and making plays. LeBron's got to have the ball in his hands.
With LeBron's teammates still getting comfortable with a literal teenager being their focal point, the far more experienced Sacramento Kings would walk away having spoiled the debut of the man who had been dubbed the Chosen One.
LeBron, you had 25 points and 9 assists tonight. What's your assessment of your first game?
Well, you know, I think I could have helped my team a little bit more, down the stretch. I think, once they start making their run, I could have been a little bit more aggressive. Just try to pull out a victory, try to steal one on the West Coast. It didn't work out our way, but we got another game tomorrow. We're going to try to get one tomorrow.
Speaking of getting better every day, are you interested in either improving or kickstarting your very own business journey? If so, today's video sponsor, Odoo, an all-in-one business management suite, can help you with that. Odoo allows you to do things such as manage your accounts, keep tabs on your inventory, and create a custom website where you can sell those products. Let's say, for an example, you want to start an online coaching business. Odoo would allow you to build a landing page, attach your video sales letter, and integrate integrate Stripe in order to collect payments. No need for multiple different applications or subscriptions when Odoo can do it all. The best part is, Odoo is user-friendly. ChatGPT has been built in to assist you with tasks such as copywriting, making your journey to business success that much easier, all thanks to Odoo. So, if you want to try Odoo, you can do it right now for 14 days at no cost and no credit card required. Just check the link either in the description box or pinned comment to get started today and unlock the tools you need to run your entire business your way. Thanks again to Odoo for sponsoring today's video, which we'll get back to right now. October 30th, 2003. James, now facing the Phoenix Suns, continued with the same form he showed the night before as the young star chased his first ever NBA victory. In fact, he was beginning to fill the shoes of a player many had compared him to early on.
That's the best part of his game, court vision and his ability to pass the ball and his feel for the game. That's where he's at his best. Forget the scoring. Kevin, when you watch LeBron James, when he comes down the floor, he's never out of control. You know, Magic Johnson was that way. They played at a tempo where they were big, they could see the floor, doesn't leave his feet, and he looks to see what's developing with his great vision. But he's not flying around there out of control. He's playing at a tempo that he can be successful with.
Not only was LeBron showing how talented of a distributor he was, but he was also doing his best to prove those who doubted his all-around skill set wrong.
It's James knocking one in from outside.
If he's going to make that shot, you're not going to be able to guard it.
While the 18-year-old had once again failed to push his Cavaliers over the line, there was one achievement he had unlocked.
LeBron James, his first NBA double-double tonight with 19 points and 12 rebounds.
Yet, the issue which had arisen during his initial NBA experience was set to get even worse. But maybe it could have been better if he was subscribed to Out of Bounds, which you should do right now. Thank you. November 5th, 2003. After LeBron had struggled mightily for the first time so far in his NBA career during their third loss against the Portland Trail Blazers, the 2003 first pick was excited to not only play in front of Cleveland fans for the first time at home, but do battle against his rookie rival.
First matchup, the much anticipated matchup of LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony. Will it be one of those rivalries for the ages?
Yet, it wasn't just the fact that James, for the second game in a row now, had struggled from the field that was worrying. No, that's expected from first-year players, especially 18-year-olds.
Where's she going? I don't know. Maybe your son hasn't touched it enough. She's out in the concourse right now.
In fact, it was something else.
LeBron in this game to get this crowd going a little bit, let him touch the ball a little bit more and make some things happen.
I agree.
Thank you, Sean.
I'm waiting. He's waiting too, way over on the right wing. Davis gets it to him on the baseline with one. Nope, too late. Shot clock expires.
LeBron has got to touch the ball.
Yeah.
He's got to be an integral part of this offense. He cannot be a guy who stands on the opposite side of the floor.
This is the third, fourth time in a row he's come down and stood on the weak side, and the ball hasn't even swung to his side.
A shocking truth, which, when combined with the Cavaliers' fourth loss in a row, saw many wondering if LeBron could actually live up to all the pressure placed on his shoulders. Because while he would bounce back in the scoring column during the squad's fifth loss in a row, those in and around the NBA began to point out a key flaw in James's game, sharing that LeBron had to be more selfish and never pass up shots to his teammates in key moments. Instead, James should attempt to play more like Michael Jordan, who arrived into the league and averaged just under 30 points per game on 19.8 shot attempts in his first season. But this issue was much deeper than a rookie player comparison.
In the final moment, yes, I want the ball in my hands to make the last decision.
Even at 17, which is how old the now Cavalier was during this interview, his mindset was crystal clear.
Because I want to see my team be excited too. When I pass the ball and see my teammate Romeo Travis gets a dunk, it electrifies me. When I kick it out to Drew Joyce and he hits a big three, you know, when I kick it down to Sheon Cotton and Willie McGee and they get layups, it makes me so excited that they're into the game as much as I am.
And above all else, James cared for only one thing.
I think more than anything, what he brings is just a desire to win and a competitiveness that I love.
November 8th, 2003. In the Chosen One's first matchup against the man many were comparing him to's former team, yes, Michael Jordan did actually play for the Washington Wizards, James was going to attempt to steer the Cavaliers' ship back in a winning direction. So, he began to do it the only way he knew how, doing his absolute best to make the right play at any given moment, whether it was doing stuff like this,
good defense, great shot,
or throwing flashy dimes. James was truly going all out. An effort which saw Cleveland's record now sitting at 1 win and 5 losses. But while LeBron followed this night up with a similar stat line, the only difference being an increase in efficiency to a 58% shooting night from the field, the Cavaliers were incredibly far away from being a playoff team. In fact, over the next 9 games, Cleveland would lose a tragic 7 games. And to make things even worse than their already horrific record, serious issues were arising in the Cavaliers locker room.
Why have a 6'8" guard if you don't use him?
Because Ricky Davis, who had finally found a home with Ohio's NBA franchise during the 2002-2003 season, in which Davis had had an all-star level season, averaging 20.3 points and an offense solely geared around himself, was struggling to adapt to playing alongside LeBron.
I knew the young fella wasn't ready to, win us a championship, so I figured I'm going to just keep doing me. I really don't care who on the floor. I'm going to just do me no matter what. You ain't got to run me no plays. You ain't got to do nothing. As soon as you touch the ball, trust me, I will get mine. I will get everything be good. So I had that attitude already.
Sharing to the media at the time, I've still got to find my way to get shots in this offense. For me, it was different before. I was the focus. A struggle which reached its peak during a late November game against the Atlanta Hawks.
We called a meeting. He like, Rick, they decided they want to try to suspend you for a game or two. So I'm like, what? What you mean? For what? Like, for what? Like, what you mean? Like, now I'm really tripping. Like, what you mean? Suspend me? They like, you being detrimental to the team. You've been cussing LeBron out. They say you've been cussing LeBron out. So I'm like, okay. We go have a meeting with the coach and all that. And we in there, he's like, Rick, I know you from Charlotte and this and that and this and that. And you've been cussing the young fella out, and that's not what we need for this team to grow. And I'm just like, Paul, what are you talking about?
While Ricky was suspended for a single game, not much changed for LeBron.
Came across this great quote from Paul Silas. He talks about how essentially LeBron's teammates hated him. He says, their egos wouldn't allow it. I kept telling them, you have a chance to help one of the game's future stars, but they wouldn't embrace him.
Therefore, if the Cavaliers, whose record now sat at a tragic 4 wins and 12 losses, were ever going to enter the postseason, something drastic was going to have to happen. November 29th, 2003. In his first matchup against the NBA's newest franchise, LeBron was ready to show his teammates what he was actually capable of.
The 19 loss that LeBron James hopping his way to the hole. Now that's special. LeBron James taking it to the hoop.
Also, what happened to the pro hop? This move for like a very long time was the most unstoppable move. In fact, if you used to spam it back in the day, hit the like button.
Out is LeBron James off to this quick 6-point beginning, and James oozing with energy tonight here at the gun.
Not only would James get off to an insanely hot start,
James going to go all the way to the hole and finger roll.
LeBron James off to a flying start.
LeBron James with 11 first quarter points.
Show off his beautiful playmaking talents.
How pretty is LeBron James to watch with his decision making in the open floor.
But also guide his team to hold a 24-point lead in just the game's second quarter. However, this is where issues began to arise for LeBron.
The Cavaliers have not got LeBron James involved with any activity, and now they're going to get hit with an over and back violation. James will touch it up.
Because while Memphis was clawing their way back throughout the second half, the Cavaliers were straight up ignoring their young rising star.
Ricky Davis forces a jumper.
And now is not the time to force shots. You have to get better shots.
And as the fourth quarter was ticking away, this happened.
Run your offense properly now. Cavaliers are 2 down.
Shane Battier has just tripled, and this crowd at Gund Arena absolutely can't fathom what's happened here. It's a 20-0 run if you go back to the final few moments of the third quarter.
Therefore, the chosen one knew what he had to do.
Didn't get it.
James for 3. Get it! LeBron James burying the tray.
And the young man says, I can take this game over if I have to.
Davis through a seat. James for 3. LeBron James dialing up some Major League long distance. James looking to take Mike Miller. LeBron with that floater that's perfect. He's taken over.
An insane all-around effort that resulted in Cleveland holding a 3-point lead with one last possession to place the final nail in the Grizzlies' coffin.
Cavaliers got to take care of the basketball here now. 30 seconds left, shot clock at 11.
They cannot get stagnant on this situation. Now Memphis has gone back to the man-to-man after playing his own, and LeBron takes advantage of it.
LeBron went to the hoop, but it wouldn't go down for him. This is Battier for 3 in the tie, and he knocked it down. It is all even at 19 apiece.
Yet, despite the rookie's failure to seal this battle, his squad still had 15.3 seconds and their actual finishing chance to leave Gund Arena with a huge W.
Trouble all even trying to hold on to this lead. I would hold it to the last shot. Make sure you're at home. You can take the overtime.
All right, let's see. LeBron James with a crowd on their feet. James off the Ilgauskas pick. Stolen away. Miller to the hoop. It did not go down, but he got fouled on the way to the rim.
Oh, man, oh, man.
And now, wait a minute. Let's see. They're going to say it is waved off, and it'll go overtime.
Overtime. Much like the beginning of this game, LeBron started his second ever NBA overtime by absolutely taking over.
Got a fight and scratch. James on the rip away. LeBron, take off and touchdown.
However, his youth started to show.
The hands of LeBron James against Posey. Shot clock at 5. LeBron trying to wrap around and lost it. Well, LeBron James having all kinds of problems. Now the shot clock's at 8. Cavaliers threw it away.
But with 31.7 seconds remaining, James would get yet another opportunity to redeem himself for his miscues during regulation. And perhaps the third time would actually be the charm.
Ricky Davis against Shane Battier. Shot clock at 12. Sagana Jeff will give it up. Shot clock at 9. LeBron James going to the hoop with a left hand, and he put it down.
Now, all Cleveland had to do was secure a single stop, and the victory would be theirs.
In order to make a shot, a 2-point shot, you give it up now.
All right, let's see what the Cavaliers want defensively. Battier for the triple and the tie. Back heel. Gasol with 5 left. Miller for 3. Got it to tie it up at 109.
You can't stand there and watch it. You got to defend the shot.
All right, only 2 seconds left. Catching fire. LeBron James for the win.
Second overtime. While the game's first extra period played out in similar fashion to the game's regular time, the second overtime didn't.
Somebody has to understand out there. Somebody has to be the captain out there. Let them know what's going on.
With LeBron and his Cavaliers struggling to find the bottom of the net, their number 1 pick's career-high night of 33 points, 7 assists, and 16 rebounds was meaningless.
The Cavaliers have lost 6 in a row.
To make things worse, former Cavalier and current commentator Austin Carr pointed out a key flaw in Cleveland's game plan after the night had ended.
And when the team learns to follow his lead, Michael, like the first quarter, I think this team will be better off. They have to realize that this young man has the savvy to be the leader, and let him be the leader.
As the season progressed, while there were battles in which James clearly took over, such as the night against Eastern Conference rival the Boston Celtics, in which James eclipsed his career high by scoring 37 points, Carr's comments still rang true. By the middle of December, Cleveland's horrific 6-win and 19-loss record showed that something truly drastic had to happen if Ohio's NBA franchise was ever going to make the playoffs.
Suck it up and to play behind a rookie, for me, I just couldn't do it at that moment. You know, now if it would have been somewhere where LeBron is old and he's established and this and that, now I'm going to play and rock with the guy all day. You know, but I would rather go get traded over here and play with Paul Pierce. Somebody's established, somebody I know we trying to win a championship, somebody that knows the culture and what we want.
But would trading away the team's former leading scorer and gifted bucket getter really help their rookie as well as Cleveland's postseason hopes? December 19th, 2003. In the group's second night without Davis, some interesting things began to happen.
LeBron James, Jason Capono, Tony Battie, Eric Williams,
good pass.
And our renewable.
Yeah, boy, you can see.
Shot clock.
As not only would LeBron once again get off to a blazing hot start,
The wonder kid from St. Vincent, St. Mary, who's got 18.
but this time around, James was no longer hindered by his teammates.
James, another triple. He knocks it down. That's his 5th home run hit of the night.
The young man is starting to become a fixture in this league at an early age in his life and the early part of the season. He's starting to deliver these type of games night in, night out.
The chosen one's 36 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists finally meant something as Cleveland grabbed their 7th win of the season. Then, on the following day, this time playing at the home arena of his idol,
Michael Jordan was watching LeBron that night, his first game back at the United Center.
things just kept rolling.
And Williams finds LeBron James for the hammer.
Whether it was scoring jumpers or sending his opponent's shots flying,
Jamal drives down, blocked away by LeBron James. A highlight reel show.
Cleveland was clearly trending in the right direction.
They made a big trade. Sent Ricky Davis, Chris Mim, got Eric Williams, Tony Battie, Dedrick Brown, and the Cleveland Cavaliers now are rolling, playing much better basketball. They are a very good defensive team, and LeBron James is for real. 32 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists for the rookie LeBron.
Yet this success, especially at United Center, only furthered the comparisons between the current greatest player of all time and the man who many believed would succeed him. However, LeBron was focused on one thing and one thing only: the playoffs. Christmas Day 2003.
LeBron with a floater that's good.
LeBron James. It's remarkable, LeBron James, just 18 years old, first guy in the gym here today. With all the hype, all the publicity, all the glory and attention he's already received, to say nothing of the money, his work ethic truly remarkable.
The chosen one began his first ever holiday game with a baseline floater, a bucket which began the snowball of points throughout the rest of this matchup.
James, rainbow again.
He can't shoot, right? But he is doing what great players do regularly. Just dribble to a spot and get in the air. I mean, Jerry West, Michael Jordan, George Gervin, David Thompson, the brilliant scorer, Elgin Baylor.
Clock at 5 now. LeBron James, there's McGrady guarding him. Oh my goodness! Tracy McGrady just turns back and smiles.
LeBron, while he had now appeared in 29 NBA games and was starting to feel more comfortable due to the experience, the moves his franchise had made were really to blame for his sudden rise in play. However, this incredible night was just 2.6 seconds away from meaning nothing.
He sets the screen and then comes off the screen. They can't get it to him.
The team nowhere to go, has to launch a three. And we are headed to overtime.
But unlike this Christmas Day matchup's regulation, the extra period was vastly different for LeBron. Whether it was missed layups, turning the ball over, or being unable to find the bottom of the net, the more experienced Orlando Magic had ultimately handed Cleveland their 20th loss of the season. An unfortunate fact which only continued over James's next 7 games, in which his Cavaliers only managed to collect 2 victories. Wins which required their teenage rookie to score 32 points against the Portland Trail Blazers and match a career high of assists with 10 against the New York Knicks. Therefore, as Ohio's NBA franchise entered 2004, they found themselves with a truly horrific 11-win and 25-loss record. So, could Cleveland actually enter the postseason, or was James's rookie campaign going to end without a playoff debut? January 12th, 2004. In James's first ever matchup against the man many had compared him to thanks to the similarities between their journeys to the NBA and their initial domination, fans were excited to see the pair do battle. However, with Kobe Bryant going down with a right shoulder injury, which of course he tried to play through.
Played for Phil Jackson in Chicago, championship there.
Shot left-handed.
Oh my gosh, a left-handed shot by Kobe Bryant.
And James struggling mightily.
All rebounders.
It was Los Angeles who would ultimately leave this vital game with the W. By the way, how many of you spent hours and hours and hours trying to master your offhand jump shot? I know I literally wasted like hundreds of hours trying to make left-handed free throws. If you did, comment below. To make things worse, while LeBron had managed to lead his team to their second overtime victory, this time against the Utah Jazz just days later, capping off their 6-game road trip with a victory, he had unfortunately suffered an ankle injury which saw the teenager miss the following 3 battles. However, during the young star's absence, the Cavaliers would make yet another shocking move, trading away their other player chosen straight out of high school, Darius Miles, to the Portland Trail Blazers. A second decision centered around having their new high school draftee be the true focal point of their future. But was this really a smart move? Well, 4 games after returning from his minor ankle sprain, the Chosen One's new career high versus the Washington Wizards of 38 points, and the fact that his Cavaliers had just won 8 of their last 10 battles seemed to be a genius decision as Cleveland inched closer and closer to the playoffs. Yet things were about to get even more insane, as after James was snubbed from the All-Star reserve lineup,
James again has admitted he's disappointed that he didn't make the All-Star team.
LeBron, who was set to once again face the Los Angeles Lakers, this time with their other star Shaquille O'Neal being present, was ready to prove those 28 coaches who voted to have him excluded wrong. February 4th, 2004. LeBron James, despite the season nearing its end, began to do things the NBA hadn't seen from him yet.
The turnover.
And you could literally hear how passionate he was whilst attempting to show everyone that they were in fact wrong. But it was his clutch jumper with nearly a minute remaining in the 4th quarter which had seemingly sealed the game for Cleveland. However, with Shaquille O'Neal, a career 54% free throw shooter to this point, knocking down both of his foul shots, and this happening,
James for the win! Overtime! Eric Williams misfires, and there's the buzzer. And the Cavaliers lose a tough one before a sellout crowd. Their 3-game home winning streak comes to an end.
The pendulum of success had swung back in favor of Cleveland's opposition. Because over their next 5 matchups, not only would LeBron falter, averaging just 15.4 points on a horrible 34% from the field, but the Cavaliers' record kept falling, with it now standing at 18 wins and 33 losses, a postseason berth, especially considering their next opponent was the defending NBA champions, seemed impossible. Or was it? February 20th, 2004. In what was becoming a standard for the Chosen One, LeBron began his night on fire.
LeBron James to raise up and ring it up. He's feeling it in the opening quarter in front of 20,562 at the gun.
Whether it was on the offensive side of the floor,
LeBron crossed over Ginobili. That rainbow! Oh, how did he get it off the glass up and down?
or the defensive,
James with a rip away. LeBron open floor. LeBron James!
there really wasn't much the San Antonio Spurs could do to slow down the teenager. But with 9 seconds left, the Spurs had one final chance to steal a victory away from LeBron James.
He's going to go inside, pick and roll with Duncan. That's what I figured. Don't let him have it.
He turned the corner and he threw it away for 3 and hoped to win it. Ginobili for 3. Never got it off. You can book this one to the Cavaliers. That's a gut check for the wine and gold tonight in Gund Arena. outscored San Antonio 21-12.
A massive win, which swung the Cavaliers' fate back in a positive direction, with Cleveland winning 10 games over their next 12 battles and 15 matchups remaining in King James's rookie season. A postseason debut seemed almost guaranteed. However, this promise to Cavalier fans would slowly begin to slip away over LeBron's next 4 battles.
It's been a struggle the last 4 games.
With Ohio's NBA franchise going on a sudden 4-game slide and their record now sitting at 31 wins and 40 losses, LeBron James, in order for his home state team to make the postseason, was truly going to have to take over. But as a literal teenager, barely a year removed from sitting in class all day, could he actually do it? March 27th, 2004. While LeBron had been guiding his Cavaliers through scoring, there was so much more to his game than buckets.
His knowledge, ability to grasp the game, he really understands. You tell him something once and he's got it. Other than that, I had seen his athleticism and that kind of thing, but he's very smart about the game.
Because James's gift of being able to seemingly always make the correct play, whether that was attacking a defense 1-on-5.
James has to come length of the floor. James zigzagging through traffic. That's ridiculous.
Or throwing vital assists.
The lead. It's Boozer backdoor.
There wasn't much he couldn't do. So, down 3 with just under 2 minutes left, it was time for LeBron James to carry his squad over the line.
James wants the isolation with Harris. James, shake and bake, jumper, talent, rim, knocked away. Cavaliers are running. James slashing to the goal.
However, as this game was nearing its final buzzer, it was the Nets who not only held a 1-point lead, but the basketball for a chance to extend their narrow margin.
A 1-second difference, Jefferson's pass, tipped away. Here's James forcing his way in. Cavaliers lead.
Yet, New Jersey would once again have the last opportunity to push Cleveland further down the Eastern Conference playoff ladder.
A jumper, no, rebound, James, extending, James to the rim, the dunk. That'll do it. 1.9, a 3 will tie it. Nets in desperation mode with no timeouts remaining.
Cleveland trying to match up. They just want to get a hand on it.
Into Kittles from half court. Back of the iron.
Oh, gosh.
And the Cavaliers come from behind with a gritty effort to knock off the Nets.
But despite James dropping a brand new career high of 41 points in this W, a key issue was becoming more and more apparent.
Everybody recognizes how reliant they are on young LeBron James. We spoke with Paul Silas before the game tonight and asked him, is he aware of the fact that just a year ago at this time, LeBron was getting ready for his senior prom?
No, not that doesn't. But it's a fact, you know. Clearly, he's a couple of years away from being your big-time guy, you know. But he's provided us with a lot of excitement, and he's done a lot for this team this year. But
over the Cavaliers' next 7 games, their teenage rising stars 22.7 points, 6.3 assists, 5.4 rebounds, and 2.4 steal averages, plus being named as the NBA's Rookie of the Year, wasn't enough. The young LeBron simply didn't have enough help or a second star to help him push his team over the line. And after failing against the Miami Heat with 3 games remaining in the 2003-2004 season, their playoff dreams were over. By the way, do you remember earlier on in the video how LeBron said at just 18 years old that he hoped players would start to be compared to him when they entered the league? Well, that dream actually came true, especially for a Slovenian wonder boy named Luka Doncic, a 6'8" point guard who not only has an insane feel for the game, but is actually teammates with LeBron James. Yet, while the pair have similarities, there are some very glaring differences. So, to learn more about how Luka Doncic is so dominant despite being the slowest player in the NBA, and why he is compared to LeBron James, click the video on your screen right now.